There's a small town, north of Detroit, where the past refuses to fade. A place where the streets still curve around history, where 19th century homes stand like sentinels through the snow, the festivals, and the changing of generations. This is Romeo, Michigan, a village built by dreamers, orchard owners, and craftsmen, people who believed a home could outlast a lifetime. And every October, those same homes awaken once again, dressed in fog, lit by pumpkins, and surrounded by thousands of visitors who come to walk through a living storybook. But beyond the glow of Halloween lies something deeper: the craftsmanship, the character, the legacy of one of Michigan's most architecturally rich towns. I'm Chris Hubel, and this is Homes of Michigan. Tonight we'll explore the village of Romeo, where history isn't just preserved, it's performed. Founded in 1838, Romeo sits quietly in northern Macomb County. But don't let its size fool you. This small village holds one of Michigan's largest intact historic districts, spanning over 450 buildings, each one a page in the architectural story of America. The names here tell their own tales. Main Street, Church, Chandler, Tilson. Every block a blend of eras. Greek Revival simplicity beside Queen Anne extravagance. Italianate grace beside Gothic spires. What makes Romeo special isn't just its beauty. It's that the town never turned its back on what made it beautiful in the first place. The people here, for generations, have chosen restoration over demolition, preservation over profit, and that's what makes it timeless. When you walk these streets, you realize that history doesn't have to feel old. It can feel alive. You can hear it in the creak of a porch, smell it in the woodwork, see it in the colors people choose when repainting their homes. It's a community built on continuity. Then comes October, and the quiet charm of Romeo turns electric. On a few blocks known as Tilson Street, the residents turn preservation into performance art. For decades, they've transformed their historic homes into haunted dioramas, not for profit, but for pride. What began as a few carved pumpkins has evolved into a nationally known attraction, the Terror on Tilson Street. Every porch becomes a stage. Every front yard becomes a scene. You'll see dragons breathing smoke beside Gothic gables, pirates commandeering Victorian verandas, and skeletons waltzing beneath century-old maples. It's creative chaos, and it's pure Romeo. What's incredible is that every one of these displays sits on a real home, a piece of Michigan's architectural history. Behind the skeletons and spiderwebs are people who have spent years restoring plaster, paint, and trim, then letting it all loose once a year to celebrate together. It's preservation with personality. Among the many historic homes in Romeo, one stands apart. Locals call it the Gray House. Built around 1872, this Gothic Revival beauty has stood through wars, winters, and more than a century of change. Its steep gables, ornate cornices, and heavy double-hung windows reflect the craftsmanship of an age that built things to endure. The Gray House isn't just a structure, it's a survivor. When I first visited this home back in the spring, the lilacs were just starting to bloom along the walkway. Today, those same bushes are bare, but the house feels even more alive. Let's step inside. Immediately, you're hit with scale. The kind of vertical space you don't just see anywhere. 12-foot ceilings, broad woodwork, and that unmistakable patina that only time can create. This foyer was once a statement piece. Every guest who entered saw this stairwell and knew they were in a home of stature. Built for a prominent local family, the Gray House has hosted weddings, wakes, celebrations, and storms. Its banisters, hand-carved walnut. The floors, original pine, worn smooth by generations. You can almost hear the echoes of carriages pulling up out front. This room was the soul of the home, a place for storytelling and reflection, much like what we do here on Homes of Michigan. Every architectural decision was intentional. The oversized windows to let in morning light, the ornate crown molding to display craftsmanship, the tall mirrors to amplify brightness in the days before electric bulbs. Many of these homes were built when Romeo was a thriving agricultural hub, the surrounding orchards producing apples that shipped across the Midwest. The people who lived here were builders, thinkers, investors, and the Gray House became their masterpiece. Upstairs, the rhythm changes. The rooms are quieter, more intimate, the hallways narrow, as if inviting reflection. This floor once housed an entire family, parents, children, and sometimes boarders. Small imperfections in the plaster tell stories. A century of repairs, hands patching and preserving instead of replacing. What strikes me most is how these old homes reveal their age proudly. You can't fake this character, the creak, the texture, the warmth. It's a living diary of craftsmanship. Today, the Gray House is mid-transformation, a restoration in progress that honors its bones while preparing it for a new chapter. Modern electrical systems have been installed, original beams preserved, the plaster carefully mapped for repair. The current stewards aren't just fixing a house, they're reviving a legacy. This is where history becomes personal. Every person who restores a home like this leaves a piece of themselves in it. They're not just buying property, they're becoming part of a timeline that stretches back a century and a half. The Gray House reminds us that old homes aren't fragile, they're resilient. They've already survived what most modern homes haven't even faced yet. Romeo's story doesn't end at the Gray House. All across this village, historic homes stand as architectural milestones, each with its own tale. 261 Church Street, an Italianate beauty built circa 1870. 10-foot ceilings, original shutters, 3 porches, a carriage barn, and even a heated pool hidden behind mature trees. A rare combination of historic authenticity and modern comfort. 319 Chandler Street, built around 1871, roughly 4,400 square feet of pure heritage. 6 bedrooms, wide eaves, and a wraparound porch that feels made for rocking chairs and evening breezes. The kind of house where every sound feels like a memory. 185 South Main Street, positioned in the heart of the village, over 5,500 square feet, built in 1877. 7 bedrooms, 7 baths, and endless possibilities. An inn, a residence, or perhaps the next great chapter in Romeo's living history. These homes aren't simply listings. They're landmarks. They tell us who we were and who we still are. Standing here, the wind moves through the trees just like it did 100 years ago. You can hear it between the houses, slipping through time. Romeo is more than a village. It's a reminder of what happens when communities choose preservation over replacement. When we look at an old home not as a burden, but as a bridge. Because in places like this, history doesn't sit still, it breathes. It glows from the windows of homes like these. I'm Chris Hubel. This has been Homes of Michigan. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me next week as we uncover another corner of our state's history, one home at a time. Because every home is a story, and this one's just getting started.